सर्व वेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरम तम गोचरम गोविंदम परमानंदम सद्गुरुं प्रणतोस्म्यहम्. Okay, good. 172 once more. वायुना नीयते मेघः पुनस्तेनैव नीयते मनसा कल्प्यते बन्धः मोक्षस्तेनैव कल्प्यते. So already we have seen this, that how the clouds are gathered only with the help of the wind. And again same wind disperses all the cloud. So that means bringing them together is the job of the cloud. Again driving them away, making them to run away, vanish, dispersing also happens by the wind. So also the bondage and liberation. The job of the mind is to create bondage, and same mind says that I am free. And whole teaching is nothing to convince the mind. If mind is complicated, you need complicated teaching. If mind is simple, you need simple teaching. Can you see this point? So in reality, neither there is bondage nor there is something called freedom or liberation. But mind calls this as bondage, then works for it and says, look, I am free. After some time say, no, I am again bound, again starts working, then again says, I am free. So in short, mind does its job and we are behind it. How is it? Let us now read next verse. देहादि सर्व विषये परिकल्प्य रागम् वध्नाति तेन पुरुषं पशुवत् गुणेन. वैरस्यमत्र विषवत् सुबुधाय पश्चात् एनं विमोचयति तन्मन एव बन्धात्. Look, says how the mind creates the issue, okay? So first thing is, the job of the mind is creates attachment, ragam. And with reference to what? Dehadi sarva vishaye. Now, definitely, when it creates attachment for the body and of course related to the sense objects and sense objects. Now, once it creates ragam, is able to, parikalpana, is able to really create this ragam, attachment. Now, the job of the mind is over, okay? Then automatically what happens? Purusham tena bandhati iti. Now a person now is bound. By that it is already bound. How? Pashuvat. Like an animal. Especially because we, in our childhood, when this animal Pashuvat, the animal is being tied down, only we think of a cow or ox. Nowadays people think of dog. But because in our childhood time, dogs were not tied down, okay? Only if any other people come, they will be tied down, because generally dogs were not allowed to come inside the house. They will be always outside, okay? But nowadays, okay? You go for walking. Somebody said, Swamiji, I don't feel like going for walking, but I have to take my doggy, that name also is there, okay? I have to take her for walking, okay? And the worst part is, they also carry some, what is that called? Carry bag, okay? The plastic bag, okay? And they will put the hand opposite way. When that dog sits everywhere, then they have to collect that and carry it in their hand, okay? What a pathetic life, okay? Why you want to have, okay, anyway, let me not get into, just I am giving you description. You should see when people have a dog, what are the things. This is called, binds, how you are tied down with, because whenever you come, baba, and with the way tails the fellow does, wow, you are so happy, thrilled, you understand? So for that sake you have to pay for it. However, coming back. So how here an animal is being tied down with a rope. And definitely that animal does not have any freedom, only limited freedom, you understand? Depends upon how long the rope is. Whether it is 1 meter, 2 meter or 5 meters. So that is the area of that animal. So also, we are being tied down in the name of called raga, attachment. And a rope called guna. Guna means the quality, good quality. So visualizing, dwelling upon goodness of a person, goodness of object, usefulness of person, usefulness of object towards me, my body, my mind. Because the more mind dwells upon the usefulness of the person, the more the person finds that he is bound. And you see this point. Because few, like when in our childhood time, computer was not a binding case at all. Because we did not know what is a computer. Because to see that computer, you know what, in the air conditioned room. Those days, a computer has to be in air conditioned room, okay? So when the computer will be brought, along with that one air conditioned huge machine has to come. So computer was not a binding case at all, because we never knew what is a computer. Maybe it is exclusively for big things. It is not required, it is not a common thing at all. So that never bind, really, we never felt anything attracted towards, only curiosity. Now what happens? The more and more we see the, forget computer is old era now. There's no phone, okay? Nowadays phone is much more interesting than, because the phone is a mini computer in the hand, okay? Now what happens? The more and more we see the usefulness of the computer or the phone, cellular, then what happens? Are we not bound? So that means we are bound with anybody or anything, not because of anything, but because of dwelling upon the usefulness of that person or object. Now the mind job is only to project that. And when mind keeps projecting that, what choice you have? And mind has got a very funny idea. Either it will create raga or it will create dvesha, hatred. Either it will highlight on usefulness or it will highlight on bitterness. There is no in between. Very rarely mind is calm and quiet unless mind is under the bus. You understand? It is very difficult. If you make the mind free, the job of the mind is either it will project the goodness, usefulness, or it will project the bitterness. Mind will never analyze or bring both the things unless the boss is there. Unless the mind is being trained proper. Unless the mind is under the supervision of something or somebody. Whether it is under the supervision of pranayama, japa, mantra, guru, or something or other. It is almost impossible. That's why if you observe Lord Krishna, when he chose to become the charioteer for Arjuna, and of course Arjuna had his own doubt because he was really, taken completely aback, because he never expected deep within that Krishna, the one who is the best, become my charioteer, because charioteer is an ordinary post, is lower. And of course when this happened, Lord Krishna said, look, if you look at the chariot, in a war, charioteer plays a big role. And as long as the reins are in the hands of charioteer, that too under control, the horses and the chariot does the best job for the Lord. And moreover, the charioteer will not allow the horses to move differently, especially when there is a crisis. And not only I am the charioteer, in this battle, in this war, also I am the charioteer for you when there is a conflict, so that I will not allow you to have any conflict between righteousness and immortality. Your unrighteousness, between truth and falsehood, immorality, righteousness and immorality. So if there is any conflict, of course, there also I'll try to catch hold of the reins, you understand? So that your mind cannot waver. This is my job, this is my responsibility. That is how the teacher, in fact we call the teacher is the best charioteer. However, here he is very carefully saying, then what happens? After developing ragam for some time, this mind what it does, then starts developing dvesham. So because of dvesha, bitterness, comes vairagyam. So that vairagyam is not dispassion what we talk in our shastra. So it is, vairagyam is fed up of some bitterness. So once bitterness is being highlighted by the mind, then what happens? Now the same object, same person appears like visham, like poison. So the one who was honey before You understand? Honey, honey, morning get up honey. Now the same honey becomes what? Wasp, not honeybee, wasp, you understand? Only stings. However, and really, this mind is something, it creates bondage and later on also it frees. That's why he says, look, Subudhaya Pascha Enam Vimochayati liberates. That's why Mana Eva Vimochayati Bandhat, nothing else. So in short, the mind, by creating or projecting or bringing the information related to the usefulness of a person or object, makes me to be attracted towards that object and person, then I am attached to it, and that attachment is bondage. And same mind, because of its own function, one way of functioning, and how it functions, why it functions, don't ask. Suddenly somewhere something happens, screw changes. Then what happens? Now mind starts projecting the bitterness aspect. Now once bitterness aspect is being changed, then what happens? Now the attachment towards that goes away. Now I am free from that person. So in short, the bondage and freedom is the projection of mind. So if I feel I am bound, it is because of my mind. If I feel I am free, it is because of my mind again. Okay? Let us read next. Tasman manah karanamasya jantoh bandhasya mokshasya cha va vidhanim bandhasya hetur malinam rajo gunaihi mokshasya shuddham virajasta maskam. Now he says, okay, if this is the case, that tasmat, therefore, manah asya jantoh bandhasya mokshasya karanam iti. Because of these reasons, means because of this usefulness or bitterness, projecting usefulness or bitterness. Now this mind becomes the cause of both liberation and as well as bondage. Okay, I understand all these things. But how it happens? So what is the cause behind it? Why does mind do? Okay, now I understand I am bound because of the mind. I am free now because of the mind. This is understood. But why does mind do all these things? He says, look, bandhasya hetuhu malinam rajagunaihi and mokshasya hetuhu suddham virajaha tamaskam iti. Because, very simple, when the mind is under the spell of malinam rajagunaihi. So malina means rajaguna is secondary, means not a strong rajaguna, means indirectly saying tamas predominantly, rajas is secondary. That is called malina rajagunaihi. So that means whenever mind is predominantly governed by, influenced by tamoguna and rajoguna. And because of the effect of these two, now definitely the bandha is the result, is the product. The bondage becomes the product. Whereas when the same mind becomes pure Shuddhamiti, how? Virajaha tamaskam. So being free from Virajaha, being free from Rajas and Tamas, then it becomes pure. Then automatically same mind projects liberation. So that means what I should do? Should I punish my mind? Should I corner my mind? Should I intoxicate my mind? Nothing works. Only what I need to do is, let me keep increasing Sattva Guna in me. At any given moment, if I start increasing Sattva Guna in me, I am sure things will be entirely different. How? Let us look at Viveka Vairagya Gunatireka Shuddhattvamasadya mano vimuktyai bhavatyato buddhimato mumukshuho tatabhyam drudhabhyam bhavitavyam agre. Very nice. So what is to be done? Here he says, look, first we need to make the mind pure. So how this mind to be made pure? With the help of Viveka and Vairagya. So developing Guna Atireka. So when we try to develop or the predominance of these qualities called Viveka and Vairagya, the discriminative power and dispassion, that means unless, remember, that Suddha, or you can say unless there is Sattva Guna predominance, Viveka Vairagya will not work. So he says, look, then once this happens, automatically mind gains purity. So mind will not fluctuate. Mind will not behave randomly. And that mind, what happens? Vimuktahe bhavati. So that mind really becomes free or becomes helpful for the liberation. Vimuktaye bhavati. It becomes a tool or means for liberation. That's why what one should do? He says, look, ataha, therefore, buddhimataha mumukshuhu, the one who has got buddhi, decision making faculty, the one who uses this buddhi, that person happens to be a mumukshuhu, desires for liberation. What he should do? Tabhyam means those two. Who are they? Viveka Vairagya. Drudhabhyam bhavitavyam agre. Agre means fast, means priority basis. So the person who is interested in liberation And of course the person is a buddhimantaha, a wise person. That person, what should do? His priority should be only nothing else. These two, Viveka and Vairagya. How to strengthen my Viveka and Vairagya at any given moment. Present day, in the name of education, in the name of development, we are trained to develop Viveka. Commonly, the intelligence of people have gone very high. If you look at 20 years, 30 years back, and now let us look at the new generation, this common intelligence level has gone very high. And God knows what next generation is going to do. So as the intelligence goes higher, also the discrimination faculty also becoming stronger. They do use intelligence, no doubt in it, to use their discriminative power. But problem here is, the discriminative power is to strengthen them or to weaken them, don't ask, because there is no vairagya, dispassion at all. Can you see this point? It is like a bird having one wing. Because a bird needs two wings. One is Viveka, other one is Vairagya. Only then that bird can fly. But nowadays every bird has got one wing very strong. Then what happens? In our childhood we see, when this thing, all these helicopters and other things, one wing is broken, what happens with the remote? Grrr, psh, grrr, psh. You understand? Goes up, takes up, falls down, takes up, falls down. And where it will fall down and how it will fall down, God only knows. You understand? And present day children or youngsters are not like that. Boom. You understand? You cannot think of, they are very thinking, very fast, decision making, very fast. Everything is great. But when they are going to take up and when they are going to fall down, God only knows. Because of lack of vairagya. Can you see this point? So here what we need to do in our life, both Viveka and Vairagya parallelly should go in our life. That's why all our priority should be how to strengthen my Viveka and Vairagya. That's why we say Viveka Vairagya bhya abhivriddhyartham. In Sankalpa, okay? Instead of Chitta Suddhyartham, you can use Chitta Suddhyartham, nothing wrong in Viveka Vairagya bhyam abhivriddhyartham. Let my Viveka and Vairagya grow. I don't need anything. Because if my Viveka and Vairagya grows, everything will be perfect in my life. I don't need anything. Only I need my Viveka and Vairagya to grow slowly and steadily. And how it can happen? He says, look, when a person gives importance to it, priority to it. But we give priority to everything except Viveka and Vairagya. Viveka is stumbled upon, you understand? That's why we want to go to best college, best university, best exposure to have Viveka. Stumbled upon Viveka. No Vairagya. How? Then what to do? He says, hey look, if you want to develop Viveka Vairagya, you have to be very careful. There is a warning statement comes, okay? Mano nama maha vyagraha. विषयारण्य भूमिषु चरत्यत्र न गच्छन्तो साधवो ये मुमुक्षवः साधवो ये मुमुक्षवः. Says beautifully, ye means those who are mumukshavaha, desires of liberation, and of course sadhava, sadhus means very virtuous, good people. What they should do? Atra na gachantu. Na gachantu means don't go there. Don't waste your time. Don't really go there, that place. Atra they are in. Where is that place? He says, look, there is a jungle. Aranya bhumishu. So there is a jungle. Don't go to that jungle. Why? What sort of jungle is it? He says, Vishaya Aranya. It's a beautiful expression. Vishaya Aranya means jungle of sense pleasure. So if you are interested in liberation, mumukshu, if you are a sadhu, virtuous person, please don't go there, don't wander there. Don't waste your time. Don't entertain in that place. Don't hang around, better. Don't hang around there. And what is that place? Happens to be a aranya, a jungle, full of what? Vishaya, full of sense pleasures. Why? What is wrong in it? It's good. After all, life is to experience. Because I am this much Vedanta studied, life is not to enjoy, but to experience. In fact, this life has come to me to experience because of prarabdha. Okay? So what is wrong in it? Problem is, here says, look, there is a Mahabagra. Not ordinary tiger, okay? Bagra means a tiger. Maha, great, huge. Because this tiger is not huge, do you know? When is going to attack, from which direction and in which form, you do not know. So in this jungle, there is a tiger. Unknown tiger. Unknown tiger. Where, from which direction that fellow is going to attack, God only knows. Oh, so who is that tiger? Now I am curious, maybe I can prepare myself to kill that tiger. Hey, that's not that easy. Do you know what is that tiger? Mananamaha. Mind is called here tiger, not external tiger. Okay? And can you kill the tiger with the tiger? If that tiger is being killed, another tiger remains, remember? So mind cannot be killed by another mind. Even if you are smart to kill one mind with another mind, don't worry, and the mind who is remained becomes another tiger. Hey, what you should do? Be careful, there is a tiger. So what you should do here means, do not entertain, do not go along with your mind or projection. In short, the moment you feed your mind, this is called, they call feeding the mind. This is a very nice point, okay? This feeding the mind is something really dangerous. And if you don't feed mind, mind make you helpless. Oh, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, oh, what to do? Yes, be exhausted, don't worry. If you are exhausted, sleep for some time. Then get up. Moment you start feeding the mind, There is no end to it. Constantly, the mind is to be cornered. And if the mind is not being cornered, one thing I noticed with the mind, as long as you are not afraid of your mind, that long your mind listens to you. If some way or other you are afraid of your mind, remember, your mind is no more going to listen to you. Because mind makes you to be afraid of you. Mind makes you to be afraid of mind by projecting uncertainty. The moment mind projects some type of uncertainty, creates doubts, puts you in a Trishamku state. You understand? There is a state called Trishamku, okay? Neither heaven nor down, hanging state. Then what happens to you? You don't have any other choice other than succumbing to your mind. Once you start succumbing to your mind, listening to your mind, now next moment the same mind is going to boss over you. And once the mind starts bossing over you, that is fear. It is almost impossible to live with that mind peacefully. It is a constant battle. And remember, it is just one step ahead. If you manage to overcome that with practice, with teaching, with association of teacher and other people, if you manage that, you will see a big change in your life, like a roaring personality. So to be a coward and to be a roaring personality, difference is very minimal. If I am succumbed to my mind, I am a coward. If my mind starts listening to me, I am a roaring personality. I remember, it's a very bad saying in Oriya language we had. Somehow I liked it that there are few things it has got into my system those days which had helped me a lot. We say in Oriya, chari daudi chinda. It's a very bad word, okay? Means to be tied down, you need 4 ropes. Means 4 directions. Okay? So the ropes, 4 types of ropes are tied you down. Some way or other you are tied down, you cannot. Then we'll say, look, in their teenage time we'll say, look, I have cut off all the force, okay? I don't have anything. Neither I am connected to this, your family, nor connected to anything, anybody. All the things I have cut off. I don't care anything what happens to me. So when you say this language, then you can do anything. Means you are not afraid of anybody, including your mind. Can you see this point? It's a very bad way we do say, talk. But I look at now in a positive way in this context, in this context, that when mind starts projecting some fear, any time of your life, till the mind is true. After that what? Do you think that only this fear is only related to me? Related to everybody. In my past somewhere it was there. If it was not there in some way or other in my previous lives, how did you project this? If you are projecting this, that means I have already gone through some life. Only problem is I am not able to recollect, you are able to recollect, okay? If you manage to negotiate with your mind somehow or other, and if you cannot pranayam, best example, puja, japa, changing the energy, then you will discover slowly that mind will start becoming weaker, means subservient. Weaker means subservient. And once mind starts serving you, you will see a big change in life. How? Let us read it. Please, again let us go. Manah prasute visayan asesan stulatmana sukshmataya cha bhuktuh sharira varna ashrama jati bhedan guna kriya hetu phalani nityam. And this mind, what does? Prasute, manaha prasute, creates. What does it create? Vishayan, sense object, asesan, endlessly, without any limit. Let it be stula or let it be sukshma. Stulatmana sukshmataya iti. Let it in the form of gross or let it be in the form of subtle. Because there are objects. Now this mind creates the impression of the object. Can you see this mind? Whether that sense object is gross or it appears in the form of subtle. And because of this capability, creating reflection of the sense objects. Now what happens? The bhoktrutva, the sense, the bhoktru in me, I would rather say the bhokta in me, means the me as experiencer. Now what happens? Starts looking at this body differently. Sharira, varna, ashrama, jati, bhedan, guna, kriya, hetu, phalani, nityamiti. So I try to see, I try to experience the bhokta in me, the experiencer in me. Now is being provoked. Now because of that reason, the body is different. Varna, you know, not caste, okay? Varna is different. Ashram, whether I am a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha or sannyasi, which ashram I belong to, that also is being different. Jati bhedan, which clan I belong to. You cannot say that, no, that jati is a caste system. No. So which clan or creed I belong to. Guna, what are the qualities? Kriya, actions. And of course their results. And what is the reason behind all my actions? All becomes different because of the mind. So that means, in short, mind creates all sort of differences. So when the mind creates differences, it is not that easy to handle. And how does it create? It's very simple. Let us read the next verse. Asanga chidrupamam vimohya dehendriya prana gunair nivardhya aham mameti भ्रमयत्यर्जस्रं मनः स्वकुत्रेषु फलोपभुक्तेषु. It says beautifully, what does the mind do? Now the job of the mind is to delude, vimuhya. How is it deludes? He says, look, asanga chidrupa, I am someone, asanga, unattached, chidrupam, pure existence, awareness. But what does the mind does? Mind somehow manages this me who is unattached, chidrupam, attaches with my body mind complex. Can you see this point? So once it deludes and manages to what? Vimuhya, deha, indriya, prana gunaihi nibadhya, it binds. So having bound or really making this bondage perfectly, where the bondage does, it does deha, with the body, indriya, sense organs, prana gunaihi. So prana gunaihi means with the different level of my prana's activities. Because of that reason, what happens? Aham mamaiti brahmayati ajasramiti. Once this bondage is done, destruction is done. It's exactly like if you manage to convince a boy to get married, okay? Equally also ladies, okay? It's not only boy, okay? It is not man, woman also, okay? If you manage a man or woman to get married, that means what? Don't worry, you have done the perfect destruction. Your job is done, okay? You don't have to worry at all, okay? All other things will follow by itself. Joke apart. So when this bondage, this tie down takes place, now automatically aham mamaiti, the sense of me and mine starts, and that makes the person to wander. My body, my sense organs, my prana, me, my, me and mind. Then what happens? Once this happens, manaha sokrutyeshu phala upabhuktishu. Now once this happens, now the mind will be what? Interested in what? It will start looking at different type of experiences and its results. So that means what? Somehow, if the mind manages this connection, this bondage, then automatically mind starts wandering to experience further and further. That's why the job of the mind is to run behind experience. And my job is ask the mind, why are you interested in experience? But generally what I do? Mind is saying to have this experience, let us go for it. Somehow I am tired of this ice cream, okay? Now I also want this ice cream, okay? That's why my mind started telling today, I don't know why. Lemon ice cream. That's why this thought came, okay? So anyway, very soon hopefully I'll get some lemon ice cream, okay? So, all this strawberry, this, that, all this thing tired because I need some plain ice cream, you understand? So plain ice cream, I cannot eat ice. Then Himalaya is there, so white Ganga I can get in, cold water is there, that's enough, that's a perfect ice cream. No, I need some flavor, plain flavor. What is that? I am tired of all the flavor, I need lemon ice cream, you understand? So mind's job is to project new things. And that is how mind finds its interest. Can you see this point? At the same time also, if you keep doing the same thing, mind also gets tired. So what is to be done here? We also will see next time verses. Here we need to continue what mind starts. Because the job of mind is to start and leave it, to start and leave it, to start and leave it. Like monkey. Have you not observed? Monkey, if you give plenty of fruits to a monkey, that fellow will never eat everything. You understand? Little bit eating and dropping will make a mess. Whereas if you keep 4, 5, also will do the same thing. Then after some time we will go around hungry, again will come back and pick up from down and again eat. Sometimes the untrained dogs also do the same thing. You give the food, will not eat, go away. Again they will come back and eat the same thing. So also the mind. If you giving more and more type of things to the mind will keep doing and will never complete anything. Can you see this point? That's why whatever mind picks up, give a few things and again ask the mind to come back. That's why the best rule is whatever you start, or rather whatever mind starts, not you start, okay? Whatever mind starts, ask that mind to complete that task. Whatever. Tell the mind, hey look, you have started this task. It's not me. So when you have started this task, please complete it. Whether it's good or bad makes no difference. Whether it is painful or pleasurable makes no difference. Whether it is easy or hard makes no difference. You have started, better complete it. So when you are strict with your mind that whatever you have started, you have to complete, you will discover that mind will never bring new things to divert you, to make you weaker. Can you see this point? Whenever mind brings new things, it is just to make you weaker. Nothing else. And we also find, oh, we need some change, you understand? And more I go for new things. Finally, my mind becomes weaker. Have you not observed this point? We will see how to look at this tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.